Literature and translation is our gateway to the world. Translated into English from Arabic, French, Mandarin Chinese, and Swedish, the finalists for the 2024 National Book Award for Translated Literature grapple with the global rise in book banning, explore the cultural erasure and resistance of indigenous families, and consider the search for truth and stability amidst political unrest. In these novels, protagonists form cross-cultural friendships and fight to survive unspeakable violence. The panel chair for this year's National Book Award for Translated Literature is Jhumpa Lahiri, a bilingual writer and translator whose debut story collection, Interpreter of Maladies, was awarded the 2000 Pulitzer Prize in Fiction.
Good evening. The game of translation, the stakes of translation, the travail of translation, the hard work of travel through the boundless space of a book on the other side of the border. Go expecting trouble, go out prepared. I cite the legendary Rosemary Waldrop, poet, translator, and co-founder of Burning Deck Press, to remind us of what a risky endeavor translation is. Translation has never been easy, but it has always been a necessary form of resistance to hegemonic forces. It is thanks to translation that literature, by means of linguistic migration, can freely communicate, circulate, and endure. Over the past 6 months, we have read books composed in 33 languages. Certain themes stood out: portraits of loneliness, the human cost of war and colonial oppression, and a world on the brink of environmental disaster. I would like to salute my fellow panel members for the intelligence and range of perspectives they brought to each of our meetings, and for the time and energy spent considering these books. Aaron Aji, Jennifer Croft, Gary Lovely, and Julia Sanchez. We as a group would like to thank Ruth Dickey and Madeline Shelton at the National Book Foundation for steering us through the process. We are grateful to the National Book Foundation for continuing to celebrate contemporary literature composed in languages other than English, and to reward 2 creative writers together, the author of one book and the translator who transforms it into another. Though in this case, one of the books had 2 translators. I would just like to acknowledge that. Last but not least, we hail independent publishers and small presses. For continuing to serve as the main port of entry for translated literature in the United States. As the discourse of closed borders intensifies in this country and others, we applaud their efforts to center foreign titles on their lists and to enable translators to practice their unique, crucial labor. The finalists in this category are Bothena El-Essa, The Book Censor's Library, translated from the Arabic by Rania Abdelrahman and Sawad Hussein, Restless Books. Linnea Axelsson, Adnan, translated from the Swedish by Saskia Vogel, Knopf, Penguin Random House. Fiston Maza Mujila, The Villain's Dance, translated from the French by Roland Glasser, Deep Vellum Publishing. Yáng Shuāng-zǐ, Taiwan Travelogue, translated from the Mandarin Chinese by Lin King, Graywolf Press, and Samar Yazbek, Where the Wind Calls Home, translated from the Arabic by Larry Price, World Editions. And the winners of the 2024 National Book Award in Translated Literature are Yáng Shuāng-zǐ and Lin King for Taiwan Travelogue.
真吗？那你要想一下哦。我就讲你。有些人会问我，为什么要书写100年前的事情？我总是回答，书写过去是为了走向未来。100年前就有台湾人说，台湾是台湾人的台湾。100年后，今天的台湾人也说这句话。但是我们对话的对象并不相同。100年前，我们对日本人这么说；100年后的今天，我们对中国人这么说。这100年来，不变的是，我们一直面对着身边有强大而且具备侵略性的一个国家。与此同时，台湾人自己内部的国家认同、族群认同也很不相同。现在有些人会认为自己是中国人，就好像是100年前，有些台湾人会觉得自己是日本人。我书写是为了回答台湾人究竟是什么人，而我持续的书写过去，是想要迎向更好的未来。Thank you.
This is what she just said, sorry. Yeah, okay. Some people ask me why I write about things from 100 years ago. I always tell them, writing about the past is a means of moving toward the future. More than a century ago, some Taiwanese people began making the assertion, Taiwan belongs to the Taiwanese. Today, many Taiwanese continue to assert this, but now we are addressing it to a different audience. Before, we were saying it to the Japanese. Now, we are saying it to the Chinese. For more than a century in between, Taiwan has never stopped facing the threat of invasion from another powerful nation. Meanwhile, internally, the Taiwanese have a complicated relationship to our own national and ethnic identities. Some of us still identify as Chinese, just as how some of us used to identify as Japanese. I, Shuāng-zǐ, write in order to answer the question of what is a Taiwanese person? I write about Taiwan's past as a step into its future. And thank you so much to the National Book Foundation for recognizing us, which I think we both feel is a recognition for the place that we come from, Taiwan. And thank you so much to Graywolf Press, especially our editor, Yuka Igarashi, for believing in us. Thank you so much.